Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time we're going to be talking about a couple of Transformers Studio Series figures. They are both Voyagers, and they are from the upcoming wave. One's a War for Cybertron figure and part of the Gamer Edition, and then the other is another figure in Rise of the Beasts. So, let's go ahead and start off with the War for Cybertron figure. This is Megatron, which comes to no surprise. I mean, of course, we've got the Optimus Prime, so of course they would do Megatron later. And we already knew about this because there were rumored listings on this, and they also talked about it during a Hasbro Pulse event. So, let's go ahead and discuss this. Now, all we have is the inboxed image, but of course you can see the figure inside the package itself, and I gotta say that the tones being used for the figure and the shaping that I'm seeing does look pretty good. But for a better look at what the overall design of the figure is going to look like, here's the renders. Now, usually with the renders, sometimes the colors aren't exactly accurate to what the figure is going to look like eventually, but that's the good thing about having that front image, is that we can actually see the colors. But taking a look at this version of Megatron, I'm totally into it. I will say that it looks a little kibbly on the side of the legs, but because it's all dark, it kind of blends in, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. I am curious if it's only going to be the hover tank mode, because if you remember from the original deluxe class Megatron, you get the normal tank and then you get the hover tank. I wouldn't mind if it's just the hover tank. I'm not going to complain. But you do have the massive cannon that will plug right on top, which is accurate to the in-game model. And some people are upset that the cannon looks a little too far off from the from the lower arm, because the peg hole in the connection seems a little too far. And I understand that, but I don't necessarily mind, because if you look at the shoulder itself, it looks like it's raised a bit. So as soon as you straighten out the cannon, it's going to start hitting that. So I don't necessarily mind. It's not a deal breaker for me. I will say that the shape of the head, the chest, and the overall silhouette, it looks really good. And I think my favorite part about this is that he comes with a mace weapon. I think that looks incredible. Of course, Optimus Prime has the axe, so they're going to throw Megatron with that. But yeah, you'll definitely get some dueling action, some posing options with that. And I also like the fact that he's got one red arm and one gray arm, so I think the design overall works. It is a little weird having the mace on the top of the cannon like that, but of course you could just take that off. Anyways, moving on, we also have the Rise of the Beasts Rhinox. So this is the Studio Series one. This isn't the mainline one that we've seen previously, which a lot of people do like. And I get why, because the design, the silhouette seems closer to his original Beast Wars incarnation. This one looks closer to what we've been seeing vaguely in the movie itself. It's really hard to tell his design, but this looks like what we can imagine. And, of course it was, because, you look at Cheetor, that's exactly what he's going to look like in the movie. So here's the front of the packaging, kind of giving you a idea of how the colors are going to look for the Rhinox itself. It seems to have a light gray with some copper detailing around it. Some people want a little bit more green on that, which I understand. But taking a look at the back of the packaging, now it also does show that the backdrop included with the Studio Series Rhinox is going to be the maximal layer, so apparently we're getting that in the film. But as far as his design is concerned, I think for the Rhino, the arms look a little too long, but I don't necessarily mind. I like the shaping of the head. I think that looks pretty good, and I like the horn at the front there, so it's alright. I can deal with it. But taking a look at the robot mode, what it reminds me of? It reminds me of in Transformers The Last Knights with the Knights of Iacon. It looks like another character for that, which maybe some people will like. Maybe you want more Knights of Iacon. You could throw Rhinox in, and I don't think anyone's going to blink an eye or bat an eye, or however that expression goes. Anyways, it does look like the shoulders are disconnected from the lower arm, but I think that you could cover that up pretty well. So, I'm not going to be upset with that. But his body looks a little too long. His upper legs look a little too short. But I don't necessarily mind this design. Yeah, it's a lot further away than that mainline one, but this is going for the accurate on-screen appearance. And I don't think it looks that bad. I kind of like the head sculpt. I like the horn. I like the kind of chin strap design. And I also like this mallet weapon that he comes with. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not the Gatling machine guns that he usually has, but I don't necessarily mind this either. I'm kind of hoping that the top of it is rockets. I think that would be nice, but if not, it's just a hammer type weapon. And you know, not gonna complain. Hopefully it's a lot easier to transform than the Kingdom figure, because that thing was a nightmare. So what do you guys think? Please comment below, let me know. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads, and I will see you guys next time.